But what happened is Shaquille O'Neal's cousin was there, seeing what I could do. It just so happened that Shaquille O'Neal was having a national dunk contest for his new shoe, the Dunk Bands, and they wanted to fly me out to LA to compete in this contest. And I said, sure, heck yeah, I'll do it. So I left, flew out to LA, and I get out there, I'm tying up my shoes, and I'm seeing these other guys, and I walk up there, and these guys start foaming up. These guys are as big as Daryl, man. They're 7 feet tall. There was a dude called 7 and some change. Because that's how tall he was, 7 and some change, 7'2". And there was another guy about 6'10", 6'8", 6'6". I was the smallest guy out there at 6'3". And these guys were big, mean, ugly. They get out there, they're dunking, just like Daryl, yelling, shaking the rim, trying to break the glass. And I'm getting intimidated, because this is my first big contest against people I've never seen before. They're out there doing their warm-up dunks and things, and they're way bigger than me. And I'm thinking like, man, what am I doing here? I'm gonna embarrass myself. And then the contest starts, and these dudes are still doing the same dunks that they were warming up with. So I was like, okay, maybe they're not as good as I thought they were. And my turn comes up, I throw it off of the glass, jump, grab it, windmill it, boom, throw it down, and everybody goes crazy in the crowd. And I look at all these dudes sitting on the bench here, waiting for their turn, and their jaws drop, and they're just sticking their hand out like they're just putting their head down and slapping their hand, going past them. At that point, everything shifted. I was no longer scared of competing against people that were bigger than me. I was no longer intimidated or doubting my own self. I ended up winning that contest, and from that point I learned a valuable lesson: to never doubt yourself on what you can do. To never let somebody intimidate you to the point to where you want to shut down and give up. Because if I had shut down and given up, I would have never won that contest. When that contest hit the internet, I got a call from Sprite telling me that they're doing a national tour and they want me to come out. I come out to the contest, I make it to the final round. Daryl was there. I make it to the final round of the contest, and I'm beating the guy with the dunks and everything. And I jump up and I crack my head on the rim, and my head is gushing blood out and things like that. And I'm like, man, this is horrible. And they're telling me, you gotta go to the hospital, you gotta go now. I kind of blacked out, seeing those fuzzy dots and things, and I'm like, I can't go. I gotta win this contest. I need this money. I need to be able to win this contest. And they're like, you gotta go. I said, no, I'm not leaving, I'm finishing the contest. Well, you gotta sign this form. What's this form for? In case you die, it's not our fault. I'm like, is this that serious? For real? Am I gonna die if I stay here? Like, it might, so whatever. I signed it, and I finished off the contest. And at that point, right after that contest was over, boom, I shot to the hospital, got 8 stitches. Well, I got a call from Sprite later on after that, and they said, we want you to come and tour with us and sign this contract. We want to take you around and have you be our celebrity guest dunker and recruit other dunkers from other cities to come out and compete in the contest. So I said, how much am I getting paid for this? And they told me the amount, and I was like, where do I sign? Okay, I'll sign that. And I did that, I toured with them, I did these things, and from that, I began competing and taking this real serious. I left school at that time. I began seeing what dunking could do. I learned that I had a natural talent for being able to jump, entertain, be good with young people. I had a true heart for people. And when I came back from that Sprite tour, I had a new goal and a new dream: to become the best dunker in the world. Not just the best in my city to win my contest, but I wanted to become the best in the world, so that I would be able to put on a level where people would look at me like, man, he's so great, and I could be able to take that microphone and say, God is so great for what he's done in my life. But at that time, that was back in 2008, I go to Romania, and I'm doing the dunk contest there. I win the dunk contest, and they say, hey, we want you to play in the all-star game with all these other professional athletes. I said, cool, let's do it. I come out there, the guy shoots it, I think he's gonna hit the rim, and it bounced up, and I was gonna dunk on somebody. But he completely overshot the ball. So as I'm going full speed, setting my feet, I see it go all the way over, I try to turn to the last second, I end up twisting my knee, and it was one of the scariest moments of my life. My leg would not go straight. It would not straighten out. It just stayed stuck like this. And I grabbed it, they pulled it, something popped, and it went from here to here, but still wouldn't go straight. I couldn't stand on it at all. I couldn't stand the pressure and the pain that I felt. I go over there, and these guys are talking to me in their Romanian language and just shaking their head like this, and I'm getting more and more scared, thinking that they're gonna amputate my leg, and I said, just send me home. Cast it up and send me home. So that's what they did. They put a cast on my hip all the way down my leg. I had to sit on the plane like this with my leg up the whole time. It was uncomfortable. It was a scary experience. I get to the doctor. They show me the MRI. They said, well, good news and bad news. You didn't tear any ligaments. He said, bad? I said, what's the bad news? Well, they put it up on the screen so I could see what those ligaments look like. And if you ever took a pair of string cheese, you eat string cheese? You ever seen that? If you take that and split it in half, you see all these little tears and things like that. That's exactly what my tendons look like. He said, you probably won't be able to do what you're doing again. And I didn't listen to that. I didn't believe the words that he said because I knew that I served a powerful God that can do anything and all things. So I began to take that information. 2 months later, that cast came off. I was able to go from there to be able to start walking in therapy. I told the therapist, how many times I gotta do this? She said, well, you gotta come in once a week. I said, no, this is serious. I'm a professional athlete. So I was like, if you really want to make it happen, it's gonna become a lifestyle for you. I said, okay, what do I gotta do? So I worked it all out. I was training every day, all day long. That's all I did. Trying to get my leg back in motion. Little baby exercises, like just putting your foot out like this, or hanging off the edge of the couch and being able to lift my leg up. I couldn't even lift my leg up. That's how bad things were. I thought I was done for good. But 6 months of hard work, dedication on a daily basis, I was able to come out. I wasn't even able to dunk or jump up and grab the rim yet, but I was able to put pressure on it. And then I started doing my exercises and training harder and harder. 2 months later, I was dunking the ball. A month after that, I was back into another contest. So that message, why I share that, is to let you know that no matter what you go through, you're gonna come up to trials and tribulations. You're gonna come up to things that knock you down. But champions, what do champions do when they get knocked down? They always get back up. From that point on, it was 2009, I set my goal to become the best. By 2010, I was getting recognition worldwide as being the best dunker in the world. I had come out on ESPN, it came out in Slam magazine, and all these people are seeing me as the best dunker in the world. And I kept on going from there, competition to competition. And in 2012, I was able to come out and win the strike dunk competition after LeBron James, hand me the trophy, Kobe Bryant come out and congratulate me. They're telling me these were some of the best dunkers they've ever seen. One of the best contests in history. And it was an awesome feeling for me to be able to get to that level. And at that point, I seemed like I had accomplished everything. And I just want to stay at the top now. That's my goal, is to train hard and stay at the top. Because whenever you're at the top, it's like you got a big target on your back and everybody's aiming for you now. So you can't keep up doing the same workouts with the same routines and the same dunks now in the next contest, because everybody's going to study those moves and be prepared for you. So you got to keep pushing yourself more and more. If I tell you to sleep, there's someone else working on their game. When you're asleep, somebody's working hard. So I got to have that mentality like I'm first in the game again. So I want you guys to take that same passion from me to really turn your guys' game around. And everybody who didn't raise their hand saying that they don't stretch or work out on a daily basis, that you would realize what it really takes to get to the next level. Hard work and dedication on a daily basis. So now, one of my big goals is still now is to be able to continue to further my education. Like I said, I left school at that point to be able to get, make a career out of what I was doing.